You couldn't go where I go, never been where I've been, seen what I've seen, shouldn't know what I know. You couldn't go where I go, never seen what I've seen, been where I've been, shouldn't.
Be recording as a group, but you guys live in separate parts of the country.
Yeah. Well, when we started out, bro, basically, Joe was staying in Marlborough and I was staying in Marlborough, and Stans would come up and we'd record stuff. That's how we basically started recording. And then the bros were staying down in Christchurch. I ended up living in Christchurch for a year, and we recorded a lot of stuff then. And now we're just basically going back and forwards. Like, I'll go to Christchurch and we'll get something done, and then the bros will come up here and we'll do a bit of recording, and we just work it out like that, bro. We just, make it work.
Because at the moment, aren't you working on your first full-length album together?
Yep, that's all three of us. Like, cause Stans has got his stuff by himself, featuring us and all that, and I've done a little bit. But yeah, this one, there's all three of us working together, and yeah, that's what we've been working on lately, bro.
How's that been going so far? What's the process been like? Have you been recording maybe 2 or 3 songs every time you go up to Blenheim, or is it a matter of just slamming it all in one thing and just working on it?
Yeah, like at the moment, bro, it was about like trying to just gather beats up, like sort of selection, what we wanted to use, and sort of it's coming together a bit more at the moment.
Yeah, so like we'd sit there and we'll like go through a couple of beats that we got from the surgeon who's in STS, and he's made most of our beats over the time, bro. But we got a couple other dudes from like Norway and across New Zealand and stuff, and we got like quite a few beats. We're not going to use all of them, but so we'll just sit down and go through what we've got and pick something we like, and we might already have some lyrics, or we might go something fresh or base it on a theme sort of thing, and just sit there and go from there.
What are some of the lyrical themes in your music? Because obviously most general commercial rap artists follow the same, theory of let's talk about money, girls, and just fame. What is your political standpoint, or do you have a political standpoint with your lyrics, or is there a certain lyrical theme in most of your songs?
Just hard stuff, bro. Hard, aggressive lyrics.
No, it's no real like political. It's more like an anarchy theme with us, bro. Like, there's no real political stance. It's just more about hardcore lyrics for people that like hardcore music, basically.
Hey, that's a good way of doing it, of course.
Yeah, bro. Keep it real like that.
So who are your influences in terms of yourselves? Who do you find has influenced you the most in terms of rap?
Far out. That's a big question, brother. I don't know. I grew up listening to a lot of blues music, reggae as well, so it was sort of natural to flow into like hard drums and that. But as far as rapping influences go, I was big on Bone Thugs. I listened to a lot of Bone Thugs. Big L, Necro, definitely. He'd be one of my main inspirations too. Cool G Rap. Just lyrical cats from Brooklyn and New York, sort of the borough around there.
Yeah, so mine was the same. I'd be like, I was listening to a lot of old school, early 90s, late 90s, just 90s, East Coast hip-hops, West Coast, just all the 90s stuff, real grimy, when everyone was just in it for the love, basically, before it got commercialised. Yeah, I just, like Mobb Deep, Big Pun, even like 50 Cent's early mixtapes and stuff like that, I was influenced by that.
Because I was going to say, is that something that influenced you into getting into rap? What made you want to be a part of the rap game? What got you into it?
I was started out, I think we're all the same, all of us, we all started real young, bro, real young. Yeah. I remember I got like when I was in primary school, I got the D12 Devil's Night, and someone swapped me it for Burn CD. Yeah, Devil's Night. That album made me want to start recording and stuff.
Yeah, because that's what I find interesting about your group is the fact you self-produce and self-record, and you promote yourselves. Yeah. Would you ever align yourself with a label, or are you quite happy being independent?
At the moment, bro, I like being independent, Yeah,
but we're working with Twice and Tyler, who's got a bit of a name for himself in New Zealand. He's on that illegal music, but he's doing his. He's got He's doing one at the moment called
spin-off group sort of thing. Eh?
Yeah, no, it's called Guerrilla Warfare, and it's just sort of like an underground collective trying to be a label, like trying to get like distribution and that sort of thing going. It's only in its early stages, basically, bro.
And what would you hope to get out from your music? What's your eventual dream with your music? What would you like to see happen with it?
Oh, basically just to live off it, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to live off it.
That'd be the dream. But dreams are free, Jamie. You know this.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
I don't know, bro. I do it for the love of it. I do it because I've always enjoyed spitting and just rocking to a beat. And yeah, it's lyrical. It's just getting shit off my chest more of the time when I'm spitting, especially with freestyles. Eh?
Yeah, but
that's the mood I'm in.
We hate our day jobs, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Other many people enjoy that sort of thing, eh? Labour and shit.
Isn't that part of the fun in terms of lyrical content? I know that from doing quite a few labouring and factory jobs, hey, it makes it all the more creative, man, because you're thinking about your lyrics more than anything else.
Working in the slaughter floor, I was writing some devilish lyrics when I was doing that, bro.
Are you seeing some young rappers, up-and-coming rappers? Of course, Stanza was ridiculously young when he started. Are you seeing a bit more like younger people getting into rap? And also, are you seeing a new trend in the rap game? Because, of course, New Zealand hasn't always been well known for its rap. Yeah, we've got rap artists, but there's not very many people that are standoutish. Do you think that's going to change?
I don't know, man. It seems that New Zealand music seems to be growing in a general sort of thing, direction. But I think, like, there's different genres within rap music, bro. And so, like, the thing what we're doing, I mean, you've got underground hip-hop in New Zealand, but there's not really many other people taking it to the extremities that we go with it.
Putting in work, eh? I hear a lot of stuff being said, but not a lot of produce. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Are you finding that it's quite hard to get any sort of exposure in Christchurch? Is it quite a difficult place to try and promote yourself just because it's so small and no one really comes here?
Definitely, bro. Definitely. A lot of haters out there too, eh?
No, really?
Yeah. Within the hip-hop community, bro, I think it's just more or less a thing that it's a niche sort of genre what we do, bro. So I think the general thought is either you love it or you hate it, eh?
If you want to book Spread the Sickness for your next funeral, definitely hit them up. I'm sure they'll be keen. Hit them up on Facebook.
Bunch of lovely guys.
Bunch of good folks.
So when are you expecting to release your debut album, your debut full-length album?
It's really in the building process at the moment, bro. I can't even see. We're just working on tracks here and there, bro. We've got a couple of tracks recorded and that sort of thing, but we're just trying to find the general direction with it, bro. And we more or less want to have all our beats selected and picked out and go from there. At the moment, we're just making songs from the couple beats we'll pick one we like. What we really want to do is have all the rest of our beats for this album set out and just take the whole thing out, and then we'll know, bro. Then we'll have it sussed. It'll be good to have it out by the end of the year, but it's probably going to be something in next 2015 sort of thing, bro.
What is your recipe for recording a good album? What do you need if you're going to record a good album?
Alcohol.
So
as far as the recipe goes, bro, for a good track, though, it all starts with the beat. That's what I think. The beat sort of sets the mood and the bass for the track or whatever the theme's going to be, and I'm listening to the beat and then figuring out what it's going to be. Put it in work. Yeah, that's the recipe, bro.
Yeah, that's bloody good. So, of course, we're going to be playing your track featuring True, Never Had Much. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, yeah. It was just sort of a spontaneous kind of track, bro. We're just all sitting there vibing to the beat. Septic Surgeon had just messaged it through to me. And True happened to be down from Auckland at the time. He was down with Forsaken, and we were just vibing on the track. Sort of came up with a little bit of a melody sort of hook, something different, because our hooks are usually sort of just stomp, raw, sort of hard body hooks, but this one here had a bit of melody, bit of voice up in there, and True aced the hook first time, so yeah, it sort of just came together like that.
That's badass.
As far as the bars go, bro, I already had mine pre-written, so I just dropped it straight on that beat, and it came out pretty good.